All right, so we've got some unfortunate news regarding Robert Suarez. According to Kevin Acee this morning, he wrote this in his Padres newsletter. Robert Suarez's progression towards a return from elbow inflammation has been slowed after he felt something in his right arm while playing catch. I believe he was playing catch in Atlanta in this last series for the Padres. So it happened recently, obviously. Felt something in his right arm. And I just wanted to kind of give a rundown on what was Robert Suarez's timeline anyway, because that is a little confusing. I was looking around at some different articles, like what was his timeline, because the Padres put on the IL to start the year, and Kevin Acee, I was looking in the Union Tribune, and he said this was in March, at the end of March, when Suarez was going to go on the IL to start the year. He said Suarez would be able to return on April 7th because the IL move was retroactive to March 27th. But in this article by Kevin Acee, he says Suarez had not pitched since March 12th, underwent an MRI on his elbow, biceps area. No damage was found in the images, but the team was just they were exercising precaution, right? Which is what we want to do. It's early in the year. Robert Suarez, he's one of the best relievers in baseball, not just on the Padres. Oh, yeah, the precaution was great. I wanted that. I was fine with that. Now, it seems more not just precaution, it's because Suarez isn't feeling great, and I'm glad that when he felt something in his right arm, he probably stopped playing catch. So that's good. But this is a setback. And so when is he going to return throwing? We don't know that. When is he going to go to maybe Peoria, or when is he going to go to El Paso or Lake Elsinore to make some rehab outings, pitch in some rehab or pitch in some minor league games in a rehab appearance or a rehab stint? We don't know when that is. Um, just looking at the timeline, it's like a 3 or 4 month period if you're going by Kevin Acee's article back in March when he stopped throwing, March 12th. And when he could return, or excuse me, March 12th was when he last pitched, last time we saw him pitch in a spring training game. You go from that date to April 7th, which was, I guess, when he would have been able to come off the IL. That's like 4 weeks. That's a good stretch of time there. So if we go now, let's say, in 4 weeks from now, that's going into May, and it would probably be more than that, I would say, because they're going to want to get him some rehab appearances, multiple. So you're looking maybe mid-May when Suarez returns, and he's going to be good to go as like the eighth inning guy and be in high leverage situations. Maybe that's the best case scenario. So this is definitely not news we wanted to hear as Padres fans. So the question is, who do the Padres turn to with Robert Suarez's return delayed? And it's delayed again to a time that we don't know. Like the time just has not been mentioned by anyone. Haven't seen it anywhere when he will return. He's not throwing right now, or maybe he's throwing, but the progression has been slowed. He felt something in his right arm while playing catch recently, so I don't know if he is throwing now. But who do the Padres turn to? It's the current group of guys. Adrian Morejon is out. Drew Pomerantz is out. But you can't rely on those guys because they have dealt with injury issues before. It's the group that they have. And then when Joe Musgrove comes back, hopefully on the sometime in the Braves series, 18th or 19th, maybe when he comes back there, will the rotation go to 5 men? And that will give the Padres an extra guy in the bullpen. Maybe that's Nick Martinez. And then the rotation looks like Snell, Darvish, Musgrove, Waka, and Lugo. Martinez in the bullpen as another long guy. Weathers goes to the minors, but the bullpen will get a little bit of reinforcement there because right now the Padres, they're operating with a 6-man bullpen, not including Josh Hader. I don't include Hader because he's only going to pitch in the 9th inning when they have a lead. He's not going to pitch every day. He's not going to pitch in any situation. So it's really a 6-man bullpen. And then it's a 4-man bullpen at times if a couple guys are down on a certain night. So the Padres turn to Brent Honeywell. They turn to Steven Wilson. They turn to Hill, Luis Garcia. Like, those who they're gonna have to turn to. And who knows how long Tapia stays on the roster. I think it would be however long it takes for Musgrove to return, and then they have Martinez probably go to the bullpen, and Weathers just goes to the minors. But I think Honeywell, if he can stay healthy and continue pitching well, I think he can help fill that Suarez void because he looked good in his last outing, and he has the strikeout stuff. So I'm definitely paying attention to Honeywell, and then there's pressure on Garcia to pitch well because he's the best reliever if you don't include Hader, who's only pitching in those limited situations. So this is not what you want. Obviously, Robert Suarez, his timetable to return, it's kind of unknown, and it's delayed after feeling some right arm. I don't know if it was tightness, but feeling something in his right arm. So that's the latest there on the bullpen situation. Makes it more important for the starters to continue giving length. Like Snell, maybe improve that, give some more length there. Nick Martinez, give some more length when he starts. Ryan Weathers, just continue to keep the Padres in games. And Lugo and Waka, continue to do what you're doing right now, going 6 innings, because that greatly helps out the bullpen, especially when the Padres, they don't have an off day coming up soon. They just had one. And all the way through Tatis's return, they don't have an off day. They're playing, I think, 23 games in 24 days here to start off the season. So you're going to need some length out of the rotation and some length out of some of the bullpen guys, multiple innings. So that's the latest on the Robert Suarez situation. Pre-game thoughts coming later today.